Restoring this Ninja was possibly the best 500-hour investment I've ever made. I took a very bland, mundane bike, turned it into something that really pleases me, and we're going to head to the airport today. Well, the weatherman, as always, predicting possible rain in the afternoon. Really hot right now and going to get hotter by the minute. And the whole rest of the week, they're predicting even hotter weather. I don't know when it's going to end, but until it does, we're going to be trying to ride every day. Well, step one is always get the bike ready for the open road. One of the things I wanted to do today before I went out on the road, I wanted to get a good coat of this Colonite insulator wax on the bike. This is a very high quality wax, and thank you Joe Padula for donating this and turning me on to it. This is really some special stuff. And if you take the time to put a coat on, let it dry, wipe it off with a brand new microfiber, a relatively clean one, you have a shine. Not only that, you have a feel, and the biggest thing, you have protection. You get caught in the rain, look at that shine. And that's Bentley black. That is my favorite black color of all time. These are clouds reflecting in it. Now, I never go out on the open road anytime without checking the air and the tires. I'm just fussy as crazy about it. I don't know why. And every once in a while, I have to make an adjustment to it, because it gets hotter and colder. It's not like you're getting a flat tire, although that's one of the things you would always want to check for too. And in this case, as long as I had it up on the spools, I made sure the chain was in adjustment, get a nice coat of that insulated wax on there, and boy, is that stuff ever nice. That is so nice to deal with. It comes right off, unlike the old Simonized Carnubas of the past. Oh my God, the stuff we had in the past. I like to keep the back sprocket clean, get some of the grease, some of the residue off of it. And in this case, the bolts, I hadn't polished the bolts in a while. And all of the little bolts, you just run a little, this is a very, very soft brass wire wheel, brings the shine right back up instantly almost. Now, and I like having that back wheel clean like that. When I go out on the open road, that is one of the things I just really enjoy. And every day before I head out, I like to just look at the bike and just look around for looks like any screws are loose or anything's cracking, especially these carbon fiber parts. They're several years old now. So far, they don't have a crack in them. And I've had no issues with them, in fact. And I always just like to do like you would do the same thing if you had an airplane. A walk around, look around, grab things, touch things, see if anything's loose. It only takes a minute or two, and usually that's the best investment you can ever make in having a ride where you don't ride along and a part comes loose or comes off the bike or as something that really would be a real inconvenient thing. Now you can see the ruler that's still in the pond. We don't have it full yet. We're coming up on it. Roughly 2 inches of water a day. That seems to be work well. That was Dave Midgley's advice, and it seems to be like all of the things he's ever told me concerning fish or carbon fiber. He's usually right on the money. Thank you, Dave. The fish have all survived. We did not in that episode that we just had, and I've got some of it on video, and we have not lost a single fish, and that's the bottom line of everything. And in a couple days, we'll have the water right up back to the top. And of course, I got the usual stuff to do on the farm. I wanted to add the 2 inches of water, made sure I'm doing it very methodically, and that I'm not going to, the purpose of course is not to fill the pond too quickly. And once we have the plants all watered in, we are going to be ready to get out on the open road, and it looks like it's turning out to be even hotter than what they predicted, but at least there's a few clouds in the sky. Now, this is an interesting thing. This is a Nerid, I hope I'm saying that right, boat club. It's right in Rutherford. It's on the edge of the river. And the sculls, they have these competitions up and down the river right by my house, in fact. And I got to know one of the people that a member of this, and he does the rowing thing. And he invited me to come down one day when they have a competition and shoot some video to share with everybody. And of course, that might be real interesting for me. I know I see these guys practicing in the river. They're up at 5 o'clock in the morning going up and down rowing these things. They call them sculls. Now, up north in the riding area, if you look real close, you'll notice the leaves are already starting to turn brown and fall, and we are maybe coming up quicker to the end of the summer than I realized. But it's still 90 degrees in the middle of the day, and it's still, you got to get out early. This was been one hot summer. Now, as I'm getting up into the area where the lakes are, I'm noticing there's a lot of leaves on the side of the road, and that's usually not a great thing for traction once they get wet. But hey, it's the turn of the season, and that's one of the things I love about living in this part of the country, the turn of the season. Now, as I said, after that 500-hour restoration, I felt when I took the bike out on the road for the first time, I felt like I just went to the store and bought a brand new bike, and maybe in a way I did, but I just feel so comfortable on this bike. It's surprisingly comfortable and surprisingly good handling at the same time. And this bike, to me, every angle I look at it from, I like it more and more. And several people have commented they think this should be my favorite bike. Well, the problem is I love them all. In this area where I ride, this whole area is littered with lakes. I'm sure there's 100 lakes if you look at a map. They're everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a lake on one side of the road or the other. And they're so scenic this time of year. And as soon as the leaves start changing yellow and the autumn colors, what's going to happen? It's going to get even more scenic. Now this bike already has the Michelin 5 from the MT-09 on it, and very soon the front is coming up on that. We're going to change it out, and then that'll be the conclusion of the testing of the Michelin 5s on both of those bikes. Now all the lakes up in this area are just gorgeous, and you can see this morning the lake is as calm as can be, and we got some baby ducks swimming around out here. I couldn't resist. There was a year that we had a mallard duck have 9 little baby ducklings in my pond. They were very cute. And during the restoration, both John Pothier and Thomas Luciano helped me with the lettering on this bike to get it exactly the way I wanted it. And it's from the same paint mix that the wheels are. It's an exact perfect match. Important to me. And I put a lot of hours into getting those wheels exactly the way I wanted them, the exact color gold. I custom mixed the paint with my own pigments. And now that it's done and it's out, I love it. Just love it. Another small change I made that worked out real well, I've lowered the forks and then adjusted them several times back and forth till I got it where it just turns in nice for me. Up in this area where the roads are, well, you can look at them on the video. And because it's an uneven firing twin, it's got a unique sound at idle, a really nice sound mid-range, at least from the driver's point of view. And what I love about it, when you really get into up in the RPM range, it really does start to have a nice howl. It's a real nice combination. But it is one of the shortcomings of all the modern video cameras, even the GoPros. And I've had so many cameras, and they never record the sound exactly the way you hear it as you're driving the bike. And I wish I could figure out a way to do that, but so far, no. And Henry, you've been posting comments that you know where this area is, and it is really, I hope sooner or later you get to experience it yourself. To me, this is like a little hidden gem right here in North Jersey. It's just so much fun to ride this area. Now, every time I go around a turn, just like this one, and that Valentine radar detector goes off, boy, I just think how lucky I am to have that radar detector. And today was no exception. There were places they were hiding that I had never seen them there before. Thank you, Valentine. Now, whenever I check the mileage on this bike, it's somewhere between 40 and 45. It's just not really as good as the MT-09, but it is pretty good. And once you're out of the area where the houses are and the roads, there's basically no driveways and no surprises, and that it's just so relaxing to ride up here. Really nice. Always great in these populated parts of the ride to have a stealth bike that's quiet and you don't hear it coming. And I really don't miss one little bit having those loud exhaust systems I had for many years. Boy, during the time we rode Harriman Park all the time, they were fine. But up in this area, you'd be in big trouble very quickly. Now, I didn't see a whole lot of sunshine today, but I was going to just make the most of what I have here. And actually, I thought we may get rained on. Went through the whole day. Not one drop, it just was cloudy. Now, Lincoln Park Airport is on the way out to the riding area. I either hit it on the way out or on the way back, sometime both ways. The nice thing about this is there's a real nice little restaurant, coffee bar, and if it's a beautiful day, and today it was, you can just take a little break, watch the planes take off and land. A lot of times they're working in the hangars on something that's pretty cool, or they have some exotic planes there. They've had a yak there one time, and this just typical planes like from this modern day and age. But there are always, if you look real close, there's always something cute there. They give helicopter rides, helicopter lessons, and always a nice little motorcycle-friendly place to stop if you need a quick hamburger or a quick cup of coffee or whatever. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of activity today, but I had to stop and see. These are obviously student pilots that they're doing touch and goes and stuff. But it's great memories for me of the time when I used to fly in and out of Lincoln Park. And this is just a great little place. There's a farm at one end of it, and then if you take off in that direction, it's a very, very scenic look you have. And that little coffee shop is worth stopping at. Again, I every time I stop to take a picture and I look at this, I'm real happy. And John Pothia made so many concept sketches on this. And again, thank you, John. This really, at the end, was a labor of love. And whenever I've stopped in any group of where there are other motorcycles and motorcycle-friendly areas, I always get nice comments about this bike. I don't know why. And I get more on this than I do with some of the bikes I thought I'd get more, like the FCR. This was really a long day. Now, I usually don't stay out this long, but today I had a chance to do that. And anytime I do have an extra hour or two, I like to spend it on the open road. But I do have to get back to the farm. We still are not totally finished with the pond maintenance. And Karen, of course, is going to be cooking up some tomatoes. So we're going to just have a lot of fun with the rest of this summer. And then the best time of the year is just around the corner, the fall, when the leaves are changing. Is the farm producing? I don't see anything in that bucket. We need more tomatoes.
Yeah, we do.
See if you can harvest some Michelin tires out of that garden. Oh, I see some pico de gallo there. Oh, you already made some, right?
I made some this morning.
Oh, all right. You made it this morning.
I'll make some roasted tomato sauce later.
We're still getting beans out of there, too.
Yep.
So we've got almost all the water back in the pond. And after, wow, I don't know how many days, but now the fish were not coming up to eat the first couple days. Now, I'll bet in the next couple days they'll be taking the food out of my hand. They are fun though. What a nice thing, come back from the ride and have lunch with the fish. One more day in the life of the ninja farmer. Anyway, we had a nice ride. The sun never really came out, but it didn't rain either, so I guess that's the best of all worlds. And the farm is producing, the fish are eating, and I'm going in to have one of those very special giant Karen cup of coffee that I just think about for the whole ride. And after a long ride like today, it was just wonderful coming back to see the fish, to see that they're happy, to see that they're eating, and that they're getting friendlier and friendlier by the day. When you take them out of the pond, they don't really like that. And it seems like they have a good memory for about 2 days. Maybe that's about the time I have a good memory too. I don't know. Anyway, we love our ninjas. We love both of them. We love our evil twins. We love our fish. and I'm passionate about all motorcycles, no matter what bike you ride, and no matter how you ride it, how fast, how slow, where, or what time of day. We can still be friends because the world of motorcycles is a wonderful buffet, and you can just take from it whatever it is you enjoy the most. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again.